Welcome to day 195 of the 300 movie challenge. Today we watched the highest grossing film of August 2010, which was The Expendables, aka let's put all of the great action stars of the 90s into a movie and call it a day.
I have a really weird complaint.
Okay.
This feels like a sequel.
Oh,
Does.
it does kind of feel like a sequel,
What I mean by that is the plot itself, like the bare basics of the plot, if you were to outline it, is not that complicated. The problem is that you don't know why anyone is doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
It feels like you're supposed to know who these people are already.
Yeah.
And you don't. It's like there's no setup for anybody.
It's kind of just like, as my aunt said, these guys were in big, action-y movies of the 90s, so they don't deserve an explanation, but in this scenario, an explanation would actually be really nice.
Well, no, because I could see it as, it's the point is that, they're kind of playing up the stereotypes, right? Okay, fine, but, do that in their introductions, where, here's this character, and he is playing up this 90s action cliche, right? And, you can have fun with that and do more with that, where this, it's here's some people that are doing stuff, and you're like, okay.
But why?
Yeah.
So, I think that kind of summarizes, my main issue with it, is that, also because of that, you just kind of don't give a shit about what's going on.
Yeah, because the but why is completely, not there.
Yeah, and again, the why doesn't have to be, a quote-unquote good reason. It could, because, again, the whole point is it's supposed to be, a parody, so it could be, a stupid reason, but, at least give us a reason, you know?
Yeah.
If anything...
Yeah, it could just be that all of them have a midlife crisis, and they're like, let's just live out the old days.
No, literally, if they made this, dumber than it would have been better.
Yeah.
It was this kind of awkward, not quite badass, but not quite dumb. It was, in the middle, which made it worse.
It's kind of like they tried making it, look really cool and everything, but at the same time, they still wanted to put as many action scenes as possible and everything, despite the seriousness.
It's just super half-baked, and, it didn't commit either way. It didn't commit to being a full parody, it didn't commit to being, a serious drama, it didn't, commit to being just, a regular dumb action movie.
Yeah, okay, there's three things I like, and when I say I put that in quotes, so I don't really like it, but I'm oh, okay. The first one is more so just as, something that's kind of ridiculous, but in a good way, is, Jason Statham's character with his knife is, hilarious, because he's so good. It's that's again, that's kind of what I wanted more of that. The fact that he could, throw a knife across the room and it perfectly lands where it's supposed to. It's okay, we need more of this. You know what I mean? Of just
Knife
ridiculous, ridiculous shit like that. And how, there's the scene where he, pulls up to, the basketball court and just beats the shit out of those guys. It's so overblown how he just destroys them that it's okay, this is actually kind of funny. He literally just throws a guy across the court. It's
and
oh
then
my
stabs
god.
a basketball.
Yeah,
That was the most anticlimactic stab, though.
I know. But more of that would have been funnier. And the thing is also especially the big climactic fight scene is in the middle of the night, so you can't really tell what's going on. So even if there was weirder stuff like that, you couldn't really tell. And,
Just like the 90s.
yeah, and then also this is not really a 90s thing, this is more of a recent thing, is that there was a lot of shaky cam.
Yeah.
So, distractingly so.
For no good reason.
Yeah, and the shaky cam plus the night made the whole climax kind of I can't really see this. But anyway, yeah, so there was that.
There were, I think I pointed this out in the middle of the movie, but there's this, hue that's over the entire film that makes it appear like it's almost like a 90s film as well. Whether it's intentional or not is kind
Up
of...
for debate.
I mean, it's probably intentional, but I would argue, but what's the point?
Yeah.
Because again, if they went full on parody, that would make more sense, but they didn't, so...
Yeah.
And then, anyway, so that was the first thing I kind of liked. And then, Dolph Lundgren's character, the guy who like betrays the team or whatever, like
Mhm.
he's like he's like kind of hilariously hammy in terms of his what he's talks about, how he just like threatens people or whatever, and he's just like, I'm a nice guy, and it's like, all right, sure, it's just like, again, shit like that that's like kind of just ridiculous enough that it's kind of funny, but he's like not really in the movie that much, so it's just like, okay.
Oh well.
Yeah. And then the last thing was, they didn't go full out romance with the girl.
Yeah.
Like she was the damsel in distress, so okay, but at least they didn't like,
They
go
just made her the damsel in distress.
yeah, which is okay,
Which is
fine.
okay.
Yeah. And
It's dumb, it's sexist, but it's better than how it usually goes.
yeah. And
Where
okay.
it's like she's in bed with one of the male characters by the
Where
sex.
it's dumb, sexist, and there's a romance.
So you know how at the end of this movie they're like, oh, will you come back? It's like, yes, I'll come back for you or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So I looked. She's never in the other movies.
Oh.
Really?
So, yep, she's gone. Never see her again.
I'll be back. JK.
So, yeah, that's that. And then, so those are the things that I was like, kind of enjoyed, but again, not really. It was just like, I wanted more of that. And he just didn't really quite get it. And there was a bunch of, like, small things that are weird. Like, Stallone's fucking mustache.
Like Robert Downey Jr.
No, he literally
Jr.
looks like Robert Downey Jr. It's really distracting.
like a little bit like less like attractive.
And
Much older, probably.
I don't know. Probably, but I don't know how much older. And then there's that. Jet Li, who like does almost nothing in this movie. But anyway,
Yeah.
there's multiple times where his dialogue sounds like pretty obviously dubbed.
Yes.
Like the quality of his voice at certain points does not match this other characters around him, and it's like it's multiple times too, and it's like it's kind of weird. Why him?
Is it because he's Asian?
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just he kind
Maybe
of
he messed up his lines.
mumbled
because
it or whatever. I don't know. Yeah.
I think he does have an accent, so maybe they were like, okay, it doesn't sound very clear, so they made him dub it or something.
I don't know, but they really need to try to hide that better because it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
And then
He's-
the music is like really generic. Like they tried. Like again, this is like the thing where it's like, is this a parody in that sense? Because it's like so generic in terms of the action music of like, it's like, oh my god, come on, it's so
It's like you can name many other movies that had the same beat as that.
yeah. So
It's like stock music at that point.
yeah, it's pretty generic. So I mean, the whole movie's pretty generic, but I don't know. I was thinking like, do I like this more or less than Clash of the Titans? And it's really hard for me to say. Like, I feel Clash of the Titans, like, this sounds really weird to say this, but I expected more from it. Just because I
Yeah.
expected actual Titans clashing, and I didn't get that.
Yeah.
I guess the Expendables at least held to its title, if nothing else.
Yeah, so, and again, there's, like, the few tiny little elements that were like, okay, that's kind of funny, but, like, so I think I put it, like, very slightly above, but it's pretty damn close. So, I don't know. It's not worth seeing. Again, apparently they've made 3 of them, and apparently they're working on a 4th one, so, but...
I mean, I guess at the very least, maybe it's just fun for the actors
Yeah.
to, like, be
No, I'm
in these
sure it
movies,
is.
so I can't say that it's, like, terrible.
No, it's
just-
not terrible. But...
It's not for us because we want more substance.
Or just go all the way with the stupid, so...
Yeah, just
See, the thing
just do it.
Embrace the stupidity.
I could see possibly the sequels being, like, more stupid, which might make them actually better, but I don't know. I don't want to, like...
Are we watching any of the other sequels?
You'll
Probably
find
not.
out. You'll find out.
Oh no.
So,
Oh.
yeah. So it's not like that makes me want to see the sequels with that mindset, but at the same time, I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe? But, yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
It could be. I don't know.
Yeah. Whatever. So that's... I guess
If
that's
it
it.
turns out that the sequel is better than this, then I think that would be the first case that we've watched like a sequel of something, and the first one was actually worse than the sequel.
Well, okay, no. Well, we thought like Shrek 2 was better than Shrek, and like the second Pirates movie is better. But those are still like pretty good movies, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, in
I
terms
guess
of a movie that
maybe
like the first
maybe what
was
she means is like maybe it's like the first one is kind of dull, but then the second one is like kind of at least
Yeah,
entertaining.
that's what I
yeah.
meant more.
So
Yeah.
like the first one is, you know, less than True Middle, and the second one is more than True Middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything like that we've seen.
Yeah, everything else has been like good, and then it gets better, or it gets like a little bit worse.
Or it gets very worse in the case of the Matrix.
Yeah.
Oh man, I forgot about those movies. I just
Yeah.
blocked them out of my memory again.
I mean, the only thing I could possibly see is like from Attack of the Clones to Revenge of the Sith.
Oh right.
Maybe, but again, Revenge of the Sith is very much in the middle, so I don't know. And again, that's not like Attack of the Clones, not the first one either. So,
Yeah. So.
but yeah, who knows?
This movie's pretty expendable, so if you
You
like these kinds of things.
you
then
were
go-
waiting to say that.
I was.
Oh my god.
I was.
That means we have to stop.
On
We're
that
Uh,
very sad note, we apologize on behalf of.
We'll get rid of her somehow.
Yeah. Gone. She's gone. See,
Poof.
her icon is it's mysteriously disappeared. On that note, goodbye.
I will not be silent!